Moisture levels increasing across Texas, and the rain is about to begin. Let's talk about who's going to get how much in this Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, it's Tuesday, the 18th of November, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to pop on in for some Texas weather information. First day I'm getting to use my main production machine in the office in a very long time, and still a lot of kinks to work out. I'm going to have to rearrange all the monitors I already assembled because I don't like how it laid out, so it's really going to stink and probably take about 6 hours today, but maybe I'll time-lapse it just for the fun of it. Regardless, beyond that, let's get into the forecast before I go down into computer brain hole here. We are looking at clouds across a good chunk of the state today. A lot of that will hold tough, especially the northern half of the state as southerly winds continue to pump in moisture. We could have some fog tomorrow morning. Otherwise, tomorrow itself, you can see clouds, mostly the entire state except deep south Texas. Rain chances increase tomorrow afternoon and evening, with a whole lot of rain possible Wednesday night. Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, Concho Valley, Big Country, into parts of northwest Texas, western North Texas. And, oh yeah, by the way, tonight, showers out in the borderland of far west Texas. You can see tomorrow morning, sprinkles possible. Let's just say most of the state, and then the real stuff gets going tomorrow evening across the areas I just described. Some of those storms may have the potential of producing quite a bit of cloud-to-ground lightning, locally heavy rain, and, from the Storm Prediction Center, the potential for, add text here. Cool, man. Well, we'll probably add a post-production to fix that. Y'all will wonder what I'm talking about, but we do have the potential for isolated severe storms. North Texas, Texoma, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, Edwards Plateau, eastern parts of the Permian Basin, mostly tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, with most storms behaving, but some of those storms could produce nickel to $half size hail. That's around an inch in diameter. Some strong wind gusts, locally heavy rain, and quite a bit of cloud-to-ground lightning. A lack of decent instability is going to prevent a higher threat of severe storms, it looks like right now. This is looking more like a rain event with some intermixed small hail versus a big, bad, very mad Baldy-in-Chief staying up all night doing severe weather coverage for flying softballs and spinny doom-dooms. Fire weather-wise over the next few days, well, today we could have some low to moderate fire danger in parts of the state. By Wednesday and especially Thursday, fire danger low the entire state of Texas from the Texas A&M Forest Service. Let's take a look at the upper air pattern over the next week from the European weather model ensemble. You can see we're going to have a big old dip in the jet stream the next couple of days. Little bit of a break as we switch to more of a zonal flow on Friday and Saturday. Then our next big, bad, very mad storm system kicks on in, heading into Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. And that's going to bring another round of widespread showers and thunderstorms to the state of Texas. So, we've got tomorrow, Thursday, into Friday morning, less active Friday afternoon through Saturday afternoon and evening, and then late Saturday night through Sunday and into parts of Monday, our next chance of thunderstorms. Taking a look at the simulated weather model radar, you can see that depicted here. Thursday night and Friday, storm chances eastern half of the state. We settle on down Friday afternoon and night, maybe some showers into Saturday along the Gulf Coast, and then things just go heading into Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. Radar lights up like a Christmas tree across several regions of Texas with the potential of multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms may have the potential of being on the strong side this weekend and early next week, but no official delineations of a severe weather risk at this time from the Storm Prediction Center. Looking pretty good in the rainfall department. However, in terms of the flash flooding risk for the next couple of days, well, let's take a quick look. Here's the forecast rain totals through 6 a.m. Sunday. So this is going to cover the first round we're expecting Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night through Thursday into Friday morning, and then maybe the onset of late Saturday night's rain chances. At this point, we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches of rain northern Edwards Plateau, the Hill Country, Del Rio up through Kerrville, Fredericksburg, all the way up through Burnett, Central Texas. We're looking at Killeen, Waco, up through DFW, North Texas, into Texoma, from, let's just say Ringgold east through Gainesville, Sherman, over to Paris and Texarkana up in the northeast Texas. 1 to 3 inches of rain on average. Some of y'all may get less. Some of y'all may get a little bit more. And then we're looking at comparatively lower rainfall amounts, but still decent. Over 1/4 inch of rain possible, over 1/2 inch of rain possible in spots. Panhandle, West Texas, through the Permian Basin, Northwest Texas. And on the flip side of the thing, Coastal Plains, Southeast Texas, Golden Triangle, Piney Woods of East Texas. And again, this is mostly for round one. We're going to get more rain that could double these totals heading into Sunday, Monday, and maybe even Tuesday of early next week. Now, let's take a look at that flash flood outlook as I press some buttons here and try not to have to pause the video. There we go. We're looking at the potential for maybe some localized to scattered issues in the flooding department on Thursday across the Hill Country, South Central Texas, Central Texas, Texoma, North Texas, and Northeast Texas, with isolated instances of flooding possible. Eastern half of the Panhandle, mainly along and east of 287 and I-27 down through West Texas. East of, Midland, Odessa, east of Fort Stockton, into the big country, the Concho Valley. And again, soils are drier than a popcorn fart right now, if that's even an applicable descriptor. I don't know, I don't care, my video, my idioms. But with heavier rains possible on Thursday, some folks may get a couple rounds of heavy rain. We may see increased instances of street flooding, rises on creeks and streams, and we could definitely see at least localized flash flooding potential if things set up in the right spots for that to occur. We'll keep an eye on it, but that will also play a role going into early next week as soils are saturated by then, so we may have a comparatively increased threat for increased runoff and maybe some issues with flooding heading into Sunday and Monday of next week. Otherwise, temperatures today, well, we're looking at highs in the 90s across South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, 93 in McAllen, 91 in Laredo, 85 in San Antonio, North Texas, how about 90 this afternoon in Mineral Wells, 88 DFW, looking at about 84 in places like Tyler, Texarkana, all the way down through Jasper, Lufkin, 86 in Houston, 82 in Orange, 83 in Beaumont, 87 in Corpus Christi, 71 in Amarillo, 80 in Lubbock. We're looking at about 72 this afternoon in El Paso. On Wednesday, things a little comparatively cooler, though still above average for mid-November. Highs 70s western third of the state, 80s eastern two-thirds of Texas, with the exception of the Rio Grande Plains and South Texas. Y'all are holding tough in the 90s. On Thursday, we cool it down in the Panhandle back towards mid-November averages. Yeah, highs in the 50s are normal for this time of year out there. High of 57 in Dalhart, 62 Amarillo, 68 in Lubbock. We're looking at 62 in El Paso, even cooler up in the higher terrain of the Guadalupe and Davis Mounds. Still, though, everyone else, 70s and 80s with 90s down in South Texas. No big cold snap coming in on the backside of this system, by the way, heading into the late week. Friday's high temperatures, 50s in the Panhandle, 60s West Texas, and the borderland of far West Texas down into the Guadalupe Davis Mounds. Everyone else, 70s. We're looking at 80s along and southeast of a line from Del Rio to Austin to Bryan, College Station to Jasper and Lufkin. And yes, it's still going to be in the 90s down in deep South Texas, 92 on Friday in McAllen. Here is Saturday. A little cooler. We're looking at mostly 60s northwestern half of Texas, 70s to 80s southeastern half of the state. So not a bad Saturday for sure in between these storm systems, but clouds may hold tough, and we're still going to have a lot of moisture in place, so it's going to be a humid 60s and 70s for the state. Long Range Climate Prediction Center outlook, we're looking at above average temperatures, most likely persisting through Thanksgiving across the eastern two-thirds of the United States, east of the Continental Divide. Precipitation-wise, hey, we're still looking pretty wet and stormy next week. It looks like we may stay active through at least Thanksgiving. So this is going to begin an active stretch of weather where we're probably going to have some pretty potent upper-level storm systems moving through our part of the world about every 3 to 4 days. days. And with that, and no big cold snaps in place to bring drier air, we may have precipitation chances with each of them. So we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on things as we get into the Thanksgiving holiday period. That's it for your Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Thanks for tuning on in. I'm going to get this video out and then completely dismantle this computer setup I've spent days assembling to completely rearrange it in a way that makes me happy. So welcome to Baldy in Chief Nerdism Edition. Maybe I'll make a time lapse. We'll see. I don't think y'all need to see the rage that's going to ensue shortly with 10 sets of computer monitors, cords, and whatnot that I've neatly organized and have to completely reorganize again. So that's enough of a tangent for me. Thanks for tuning on in. We'll keep an eye on storm chances. We'll have some updates through the day on social media. Maybe put out a quick video this evening, assuming I'm not completely entangled in computer wires. And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for the next edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Y'all have an amazing Tuesday, and God bless.